Welcome inside the Pete Maravich Assembly Center here in Baton Rouge. Tonight, number 12 Auburn Tigers take on the number 3 Tigers of LSU. It's Friday Night Heights in gymnastics. Expecting a huge crowd here tonight in the PMAC, over 12,000. My name is Bart Connor, and I'm always proud to be joined by Kathy Johnson-Clark, my fellow Olympic medalist. There's nothing quite like the atmosphere here, and you've already been impressed with what you've seen in the warm-up.
I'm always excited coming in here, but watching warm-ups, these teams look so good and so confident. They are ready to have a great meet.
All right, let's talk about the home team tonight, LSU. 3 times they've been NCAA runner-up. They're currently ranked 3rd in the NCAA this year. Do they have what it takes to go all the way to the top this year?
So, Bart, you and I have both seen the top 2 teams, Oklahoma and Cal, and they are phenomenal. But Jay Clark has the pieces. They just don't quite have the consistency across all 4 events yet, but he loves the leadership. Haley Bryant, one of the most magnificent, consistent all-arounders in the country, and Kaya Johnson, back from injury. He calls them the hammers on all of their lineups. I call it the eye of the tiger meets the heart of a lion, and they are ready for the fight of their lives.
All right, well, here's Jeff Graba, the head coach at Auburn in his 14th season. Auburn's coming off a huge win last week against rival Alabama.
And we talked to Jeff, and he said their big test is to see if they can transfer that comfort competition at home to do it on the road. And they've got a great leader in Cassie Stevens. What a rock she has been all her years at Auburn, in the middle of the lineup. Now she's stepping towards the end and really being not just a leader, but their anchor on many of the events.
Coming off her career high last week. Okay, we're ready to go down here. Don't go away. The first vault when we come back to the PMAC in Baton Rouge. A huge night of gymnastics on the... All right, we're packed here at the PMAC, and boy, the stage is set for another great mid-season SEC battle. Let's remind people how the dual meet format works. 6 gymnasts will compete per team on each event, with just the best 5 out of those 6 scores counting towards their team total. After all 4 apparatus are done, the team with the highest total score wins. The home team starts on vault, bars, beam, and floor. The away team starts on bars, vault, floor, and they have to finish on the balance beam. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark, and there's nothing quite like being in the PMAC. The energy is infectious in this building, and they are so proud of this team that is led by 11 seniors and graduate students, a very experienced team, but they have built a fan base here that is a second to none.
There's nothing like it. I mean, they bleed purple and gold. And these athletes, they love their school. They love Louisiana. They just love everything about gymnastics and being here on campus representing LSU.
It is officially a hard sellout, meaning 12,570. And once they hit that number, they start selling standing room only seats. So I think the fans here know that this is one of their greatest teams of all time. And in fact, I think they also know that this is, there's only 3 more chances, including tonight, where you can see this team all in one place, because so many will be moving on after this year, including Haley Bryant, who is just a dream machine as a competitor, right?
She is just, there aren't words to really describe the consistency, the work that she puts in.
Jay Clark, over 30 years of coaching experience at Georgia and then here at LSU, currently in his 4th season as the sole head coach of this program. We've seen him with years where he didn't quite have the depth. This year, it's almost an embarrassment of riches considering the talent on this team for LSU.
It's wonderful to see him have this depth, because they have a stellar freshman that they want to get in all the lineups, but they can take their time with Colin McLean.
KJ Johnson will get this leadoff spot, and this usually gets him rolling because she can fly. This is what they call a Yurchenko-style vault, and she launches it.
This is one of my favorite vaults in the country. It's a full, it's a 995 start value, but watch her fly. Huge block in the air. That is just stellar technique and amplitude. When your eyes have to go up toward the ceiling to follow her fly high, laid out position. That stretch and extension is so gorgeous, and she usually sticks it like crazy.
It's a masterclass in technique and power. Didn't quite get the landing, but what an impressive start for this, the #1 team in the country on that event. Aria Brush now will lead off for Auburn on the bars as the visiting team. Aria has been a solid contributor to this team and one of the 5 core athletes that really make this team sing.
And what Jeff told me he wanted to see Aria is hit these handstand positions, be aggressive. She's a very dynamic bar swinger. I like that a tiny bit short on that handstand, but watch this dismount. He'd like to see her take a step backwards if she needs to. Unfortunately, she stepped forward. He wants her to kind of overdo it, go big at first, then we'll find the landing.
Aria Brush, the graduate student from Cincinnati. We're going back over to vault now. Aaliyah Finnegan will be up for LSU. Now the score for KJ Johnson, 9.775. She launched that vault so high in the air, but of course the landings are critical. And if you take a couple of pogo hops, the judges will hit you for it usually.
Yes, absolutely. And Aaliyah Finnegan here is going to do a Yurchenko vault as well. You'll see her hurdle and go into a round off onto the board. Reach back to the table, out of the round off, and a 1.5 twist. Whoa! I just jumped out of my seat.
I think that's the best one I've seen her do this year.
She just brought this vault back. She's been using her other vault.
Right.
And they made the decision to go back to this 1.5 twist because it's easier on a sore wrist that she has. And what does she do? Drills it.
Oh, look at the form in the air.
Really nice, tight form. Holds that position.
Gotta love that reaction. Even she surprised herself. She earns the stick crown, which is a tradition here, and the crowd sees the scores as they come individually. There's a 110 from one judge and a 9.9 from the other, so that's how it works in dual meet competition. You average those 2 scores, she'll get a 9.95 as we go back to Olivia Hollingsworth after Aria Brush laid off Auburn with a 9.8.
Here comes her big release move, same bar release. It's called a pike Jaeger. Into the bail handstand again. The emphasis here is on these vertical handstands, really showing them off. And of course, the all-important stuck landing. That's a full out, and it is so difficult and so beautifully done.
As we're heading back to the vault for LSU, let's focus on some of the things the judges are looking for, Kathy.
So the start value is the level of difficulty. We saw that first vault, which was a 9.95 start value. Now we've seen some 10.0 start values. The execution, we talk about the repulsion, the block off the table to really get height and distance.
Here's young Amari Drayton, the freshman, Spring, Texas.
And of course, let's look for this landing. On the 1.5, a step forward. She showed good technique, nice shape in the air.
Just remind those tuning in what the judges will be looking for on the uneven bars as well. As we go back to Auburn, they're getting set for Sophia Groth, who will be up next.
The all-important handstand positions. They have to be within 10 degrees of that vertical position for no deduction. And ideally, you want to see those arms straight, no bounce or muscling up into the handstands. The release skills, the big same bar release, they look for the height, the difficulty of the skill. And of course, the dismounts, the big dismounts with great landings.
Sophia Groth, the junior, has done all around in every meet this year so far. We're on meet 7.
Nice work on that ray. Beautiful handstand. Nice job keeping those legs together on the pack salto. This sets up her dismount. She does a full pirouette on top of the bar. Well done in vertical and a tuck double flyaway.
Oh!
Not quite holding on to that landing. The new rules this year, they have to show a finish position after the stick. Do not move for 1 full second.
Here's that rule. It says failure to hold the finishing position for 1 second on vault bars or beam results in a .05 point deduction. So they're trying to eliminate what we have become known as the college stick, where they hardly ever stop. Not everybody's adjusting to it the same way. Savannah Shane here, formerly at Florida, now a transfer to LSU, and she is a huge contributor already on 2 events.
She warmed up beautifully on this Yurchenko 1.5 twist, and does a great job there. Notice she was able to keep it inside those, not quite inside the line, she was right on the lines. The judges use that as a guideline to make sure that they're staying straight with the table. In line.
Amari Drayton before her had a 9-9 after Finnegan's 9.95. So vault impressive for LSU as we go back to bars for Auburn. Gabby McLaughlin, the senior from California. You see her average is just a little over 9.8.
And I loved what Coach Graber said. Everybody calls her. They think of her as a pit bull. She just attacks everything. And what he's looking for in this bar routine, because she can be so clean and beautiful here, but if she gets tight, her legs will separate on these first 2 skills.
LSU was the favorite here tonight, obviously, at home. Auburn, this is the event where they rank the lowest in their 4 events in the NCAA. They're just 18th in the country.
Look at that. Legs were glued together on the first skill, so she is relaxed, taking her time to show off these skills.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful toe point. Look at that precise toe point. And of course, the stuck landing.
And there is that stick rule. She stayed for at least 1 second after she planted it.
This toe point is just stunning. Excellent technique and control.
The goal for Auburn is take that momentum from last week's home win and see if they can make it portable. They're off to a nice start on bars. Savannah Shane here had a 9.875, and here comes the hammers, Kathy. Kaya Johnson will be followed by Haley Bryant here for LSU on ball.
And she adds another half twist. She's going to do a double twist out of the Yurchenko. Oh, just a full. Wow.
Kathy, she changed her vault.
She can do a full or double full, and I heard Jay talking about that they may do that because she's really perfecting the technique. And when you can go close to that max score of 9.95, then sometimes you could take a little break from the more difficult vault.
Remember, folks, a year ago, she had a torn Achilles. The fact that she's in the all-around nearly every night is just flat out remarkable a year after a severe injury like that. Talk about rock stars. Here's Cassie Stevens talking about someone who can day in and day out just deliver for this team. She is the rock, Cassie Stevens for Auburn.
Toe handstand into array. That's the exact distance you want to be away from the bar when you regrabs. Notice how straight her arms were.
Coming after McLaughlin's high score for them so far, 9.85.
The dismount is a double layout. Oh, just a little toe form and a slight hop forward. But you can just not beat the consistency that she is bringing to this team as the leader. Just not quite enough rotation and height to get those feet underneath her for the step.
A graduate student getting her master's in biomechanics as we go back to Haley Bryant. This, as we have pointed out many times, could be one of the finest vaults, not only in the country, but in the world. The handspring pike front with a half, and nobody does it quite like she does.
When she lets loose and lets this fly, she needs a parachute. Gorgeous! Oh my gosh, that was beautiful in the air. Oh, watching her in practice too was just amazing. Notice how she's on the front end of the table. Nobody does it like that and still flies as far from the table as Haley Bryant.
Take a look at the all-around excellence from this young lady who averages over 9.9 on every event. She leads the NCAA all-around with a 39.74, and every single event ranked near the top and averaging over 9.9, and she does it week in and week out. She is just a machine.
She is a dedicated machine to the work that she puts in.
Here's Olivia Greaves after the second 9.85 in a row for Auburn.
What a thrill to have her competing finally, especially on this, her best event. Open with a really difficult combination. And a very difficult full twisting double back, a little hop on the landing. But that first combination of skills, so difficult to connect them.
Olivia coming off knee surgeries, a foot injury. It's good to have her in the lineup.
This was the Van Leeuwen. At the end of the routine, she was short on that final handstand, but got it back together for that dismount.
When we come back, we move on to the second rotation. There is Olivia Dunn. She will be competing tonight. But the big question for LSU is, do they have it this year to win it all finally?
Just enjoying it with my teammates. I love each and every one of them. I love LSU, I love Louisiana, so kind of just giving my one last season of gymnastics to every single person on this team and every single person that supports LSU, and I'm just really trying to enjoy it.
I think we're all on the same page and we're all going full speed ahead, and so it's just rinse and repeat at this point. That's what makes us kind of come together. We all have the same goal, and I think you're really going to be excited about this upcoming season.
My team had a whole season to compete even after I got injured, so I just learned to be more vocal and to contribute to my team in other ways than just gymnastics.
The sky's the limit for this team, and it's my last year here, so just enjoying every single moment and just not taking anything for granted and just leaving with no regrets.
I'm most looking forward to just seeing where this team goes. You know, Haley said earlier that the sky's the limit, and I think that we can even go above the sky.
We have so much talent and we've been working so hard, so I'm just excited for us to go out there each week and show everybody.
Mark Connor and Kathy Johnson-Clark here, and of course, let's take a look at some of the season recaps so far at the midpoint. LSU has had the high score in the season, the #1 score in the nation so far, 198.475, but they have a very senior team, 11 seniors and grad students on the roster, so this is the year to get it done if they're going to get it done. And of course, they have Haley Bryant, the rock star, who got a 9.9 on her vault in that first rotation. So Kathy, 4-time SEC champions, top 6, 7 of the last 8 years. This team has always been pushing for that top of the mountain, and they do look like they have all the pieces of the puzzle there.
You do, and you never want to say it's now or never, because NCAA gymnastics is just going through the roof, and there's so many athletes coming up the pipeline. Like, there are going to be more great teams, but this is a special team, especially because of what they did last year.
Right.
With all the adversity, and they still climbed. That was their theme of the season, the climb, and they ended up top 4 in the nation. That's just unbelievable. So that resilience is such a beautiful thing that they can carry over with this depth they now have.
All right, so LSU has the lead by just under 0.4 of a point. Cassie Stevens will be up for Auburn. When we come back, they'll be on the vault. LSU will go to the bars, and that means, of course, Kaya Johnson. The doubleheader starts at 7 with Missouri-Auburn, followed by Kentucky-Arkansas at the barn in Fayetteville. Take a look at the meet summary after one rotation. LSU, after a spectacular rotation on vault and a 9.95 for Alina Finnegan, they have the lead over the visiting Auburn Tigers, who now move to the vault in their second rotation. LSU will be on the bar. Sophia Groth gets the lead off, and you see the 6 athletes that have gotten the call to compete for Auburn tonight on the vault.
Gonna open with a Yurchenko full. Nice technique off the table. Unfortunately, couldn't get that stick on the landing. Keep in mind, the judges sit right on the side so they can really see the technique and see the height and the distance and the amount of the hop on the landing.
Alexis Jeffrey gets that leadoff spot for LSU on the bars. There are the 6 athletes who will be in the lineup tonight. Tori Tatum is in the lineup. She's in second spot. We haven't seen much of her this year. She was a key player last year in terms of helping them through some of their adversity. Here is Jeffrey.
When you talk about key players, it's Alexis Jeffrey. She has become so solid in this leadoff position on this event. all last year. She is just consistently smooth. Really shows off these long, beautiful lines. Watch the height on this dismount. It is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
She literally finishes 2 flips and 1 twist at the height of the high bar. Crazy.
And that high bar is over 8 feet in the air, so look at how high she is above the bar. We're talking she's landing from 10, 11 feet in the air and has to completely stick the landing, which she does.
I mean, that one needs to come with sound effects, like a whee as she just flies. I love it.
Or ouch, it's a long way down. Sydney Schumacher will be up for Auburn now as we go back over to the vault. The score for Sophia Groth in that leadoff spot, 9.75.
Now this vault will look unusual. She's going to be in a tucked position doing a 1.5 twist. It's worth the same 10.0 start value.
6 times Schumacher has been in the lineup this year for Auburn on this vault. Last week had a 9.875. Tori Tatum, I mentioned her contributions last week and last year, and in fact, Kathy, we talked about this. Last year, their story was all about coming back from adversity. And a lot of athletes had to step up when Kaya Johnson got hurt, including people like Tori Tatum.
Yes, and it was so wonderful seeing them be able to take that on. And it shows the importance of team in college gymnastics to always be prepared, and it's what makes a great team.
This year they have all stars in the lineup.
And that creates the competition within the team to really earn those spots. I love that she just swings so aggressively. It was a short on that final handstand. Let's see if she can get the stick. Oh, almost. She didn't move her feet too much, but just kind of bent her knees a little too deep on the landing.
Only 1 time in the lineup this year so far for LSU on the bar. She got a 9.85 back about a month ago in that quad meet out at Utah. Olivia Hollingsworth will be next up on vault for Auburn. They have a 9.75 for Groth and a 9.825 for Schumacher.
What a season Olivia Hollingsworth is having. She was out with a torn Achilles early in her career, and she has finally just blossomed. Her gymnastics is fantastic. They'll have to take, obviously, a deduction for that big step. But she is such a strong all-around gymnast, good on every single event.
Ashley Clowen up now for LSU on the bar. Score for Tatum was a 9.8 after Alexis Jeffrey led them off with a 9.85. 5 times this season so far, Cowan has been in the bar lineup with a season high of a 9.9.
And normally we would see Connor McLean in this bar lineup, but they're managing just a little bit of a sore back, being smart with her beautiful work. I love the extended arms on that knee grasp.
We will see Connor McLean on beam in this competition tonight, but not the bars.
Beautiful straight body swing, nice technique, lovely laid out position. Really pretty bar work.
And she lands straight up and down, which is impressive to the judges.
Yes, it's so important to show the proper technique on this event. Really stands out here, and just lovely shaping in that skill. Little scoop back on the landing, but you could see Jay Clark loved it.
Well, the LSU team counts it as a stick, and so they give her the stick crown. Julianne Huff, one of the few freshmen competing for this very senior team at Auburn. Here she is on the ball.
Another 1.5 twist. Wow, she came up with a stick. It was slightly under-rotated, and it's in those situations that you're going, okay, you're either going to sit or you're going to stick. And she stuck, so that was awesome.
Oh, she's excited. 5 out of 6 times this year she's been in the lineup on vault. Her season high is a 9.925. She's happy to get that stick.
Yeah, she was patient. She held on, didn't panic at all. And that just shows just that uncanny air awareness.
Kaya Johnson now coming after Ashley Cowan, got a 9-9. Her high score in that event. Career high for Cowan in that third spot. And here comes Kaya Johnson,
who swings so dynamically. Huge backswing out of that Maloney into the hack salto. Cohan, now watch her technique. Another gorgeous double layout. She slightly over-rotated, just had a little too much juice, so she had to hop back. But I just love the amplitude.
Oh,
She has the wow factor there.
she really does. 8-time All-American Kaya Johnson coming back after that Achilles injury. And time again, she just continues to deliver for the Tigers. Here's Sarah Hubbard on vault. This is one of her specialties.
And this vault has improved this year, become much more consistent, nice and tight in the air, just over-rotated and had to take a huge hop. They're really giving up a lot of tenths of a point over there on those landings. But when we talk to Jeff, he really still wants them going for big vaults. You know, he wants to see that amplitude, and then they'll have to get back to the gym and work on finding those landings.
Going back to bars now, that's Savannah Shane Hare.
Now this bar routine can be a beauty.
Let's talk about what we're going to see here in terms of one of the great release moves in all of college gymnastics.
She does a straddle Jaeger that is one of the best in the world. Technically gorgeous, special. Comes up right out of this blind change right here. Straddles her legs, closes them completely.
Yeah.
She's still above the bar and regrasp. This is stellar bar work.
Oh my, what a transition to the low bar.
Right to the handstand.
This is beauty right here.
She's leaving no doubt. None.
Stick it, and there will be a huge
Double
score.
front, half twist. There it is.
Wow!
Finally, she says.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, give her the crown.
I'll say, and a cake too, if you got one.
There's almost 13,000 people in here that want to see a 10. Look at the execution. Boom.
Just beautiful. But that straddle Jaeger, my goodness. And she was attacking every single skill and grabs the landing. Hello, Jay. You read my mind.
Oh, man, that's great. Okay, well, we'll get back to her score. Here is Cassie Stevens now, the final vaulter for Auburn.
The former SEC champion on this event. Really solid vault. I love the combination of the height and distance off the table. Good block when they push through the shoulders off that table and rise, and the judges look for straight legs, pointed toes, and that perfectly laid out position.
The high score for Auburn over there was a 9.925 for Julianne Huff, but a solid effort on the second rotation for the Auburn Tigers. Score came in now for Savannah Shane here, a 9.925, and here is Haley Bryant. She has scored the ultimate in the sport, what's known as the Gym Slam. She has scored perfect 10s on every event in her career.
And she has been set up beautifully by her teammates. The build in those routines and the scores.
Oh, aggressive.
And I have to tell you, she does this just like this in practice every day. Oh, didn't quite get the landing. It's so rare when you see her take a step. It's just, what a beautiful gymnast to watch. The work ethic, the time she puts into being her absolute best self every day, in the gym, out of the gym, the dedication, the determination.
LSU will retain the lead at the halfway point in this competition. Haley Bryant's score comes in, it's a 9.9. She's competing in the all-around tonight, so she already has 2 9.9s so far in tonight's competition. Jay Clark giving a couple of notes to his team to keep that momentum going. Anytime a team scores around 49.5, that's a 9.9 average. And LSU is just under that. And when we come back, we'll talk about Olivia Hollingsworth and the remarkable contributions she's made to the Auburn Tigers. Welcome back to the PMAC. We're joined by Jeff Grabe, the head coach at Auburn. Coach Grabe, you told us before the meet your goal was to try to take that great score from last week and make it portable. What are you seeing that you like and what you don't like so far?
Well, I like the fight that we have, but we're not very sharp, and it looks like we're nervous as heck. So we got to settle down. We got 2 events left. They're good events for us, but I haven't seen our team yet. So I challenged them at the end of vault to, show us what you are, who you are. I don't recognize them.
So what you told us in our phone conversation was you tried to tell them to be their average, to do what they always do. What do you tell them now going to floor?
Well, floor is a good event for us, so they should go let it all hang out and have some fun on floor. We're tight. We don't compete well when we're not having fun, so just challenge them to have some fun and quit putting the pressure on themselves and let it all hang out.
All right, thank you, Jeff. We wish you well in the second half of the competition. More gymnastics. It's LSU Auburn tonight in Friday Night Heights. Don't go away.
Tearing my Achilles freshman year was definitely a long and challenging process to recovery. The next season I was in beam, which I was very proud of, but it obviously wasn't where I wanted to be. I wanted to be an all-around. And so that season I learned a lot about myself. I think not comparing yourself to where you used to be. I think in the beginning I did that a lot. I was like, well, last year I was already doing floor routines, and this year I'm barely doing a cartwheel. And I think that can just put you in a bad mindset. And so I think taking each step as it comes and seeing where you've progressed from where you were at the beginning of the injury to where you are now, I think is the most helpful thing. I learned how to prioritize other people when they were competing, but I also learned how to prioritize myself and advocate for myself and what I needed. And I had to remind myself, like, you went through something that no one else did, and so you can't really compare where you are to where they are. And so last year, being able to compete in the all-around again, I felt like all of my hard work finally paid off, and I felt like that this is where I was supposed to be.
It is so wonderful to see the growth, not just the gymnastics growth, because she is finally coming into herself and really doing some beautiful gymnastics, but the personal growth and the confidence and recognizing her value and what she needs to do to advocate for herself. And she's just gotten into med school
I know.
at Auburn, so I mean, kudos.
Pretty impressive to have that kind of gymnastic career, come back from an Achilles injury, still contribute a great deal to this team. And oh, by the way, I just got accepted into med school. So once again, many of these athletes we're seeing tonight are among the best student athletes on any campus in any country, in any sport. LSU extends their lead to 0.6 of a point. Auburn has their work cut out for them as they go to the floor, and Jeff Grabe looks like he's headed out of the building.
Oh, no, he'll be back. He doesn't miss this event. Maybe Beam, he'll exit, but...
He said he hasn't seen his team yet. He's going to go look for him. All right. Well, this is an important moment right here. Sierra Ballard, how can you explain her contribution to this team? She is a rock star in this leadoff spot and thrives on it, doesn't she?
Anytime you see this kind of improvement and consistency, you can trace it back to their hard work and their dedication in the gym. She decided over the summer what she wanted to happen this year, and she started then just focusing on all the things she needed to work on, and the conditioning and the strength and then her mental just toughness and the spirit that she competes with. Watch her on Beam.
Graduate from Mandeville, Louisiana.
She really takes control. of this routine. Acro series right here, back handspring, layout, step out.
Oh, nice.
She missed that one time a few weeks ago, and never since then has she faltered at all, because she's just taken control. Beautiful extension on the leap, a very difficult leap that's called a switch half turn in the air. She's so deliberate in her movement. And her follow through and finish, she was slightly off, but when you follow through and finish strong, you can save those and give less away.
Interesting how some athletes are timid on beam and some are very aggressive. She has exactly the attitude you want in that lead-off spot.
When you find someone like this who loves this spot and can do it time and time again, that is money in the bank.
6 times in the lineup on beam this year. Twice she scored 9-9 to lead them off on that crucial event. Usually the most important event of any college meet, because these teams all come down to 6 athletes competing, 5 scores out of 6 count towards their team total. And beam is one of those events that is particularly precarious. Aria Brush now will lead off Auburn on the floor. They trail by 0.6 of a point. They have work to do. This is a good event for them, as Jeff Graba said.
Like here in the PMAC, they have a phenomenal fan base at Auburn, where they can really work on the performance quality and connecting with an audience, while also performing difficult skills like this one, front, through to a tuck double back.
Nice control.
Excellent control.
Wow.
These leaps, very important. They must show the amplitude and the full rotation in the air. The judges really pay attention to where they take off and where they land.
By the way, on top of all of her gymnastics successes, she's getting her master's degree in industrial and organizational psychology. Wow.
Big finish, pike double back, really worked to keep that front foot down.
You notice that supplemental mat there. You're allowed to use a supplemental mat to prevent the sting in the ankles on those landings. Alexis Jeffrey will be on beam. She's getting a few notes from one of the great legends. This is, by the way, alumni night here. And so we've seen several great champions, but Ashley Natt, who is a coach now here at LSU, 17-time All-American, and one of the great athletes of all time in LSU sports, is responsible for some of their good work on beam.
A gymnast who competed with just all heart. She's done an excellent job with these athletes on balance beam, working on their mental preparation, being able to transfer what you do in the gym, in practice, into competition is the goal. Cat leap in the switch side. What I like about Alexis' work on beam is she stays so calm. Even last year, when she had to suddenly step in on this event, she was ready for the challenge.
For those of you who don't see a lot of gymnastics on TV, there's music in the background on beam, but she's not performing to this music. It's just background music for the atmosphere here in the PMAC, which is just thrilling tonight.
And I can tell you from working balance beam, it's nice to not just hear yourself breathing and your heart pounding in your chest.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Well done. A really nice,
There's
second gymnast up.
Ashley Natt. Her mother and father, both great champions as gymnasts. Her father an LSU grad. This is a big night here.
Really well done. Because I know she was nervous. She hasn't done beam a lot. And for her to step into this lineup here, that's so great.
Ashley Matt in her 4th season, proud of the work they're doing there. As we move back to the floor, Aria Brush 9.875 was the score for the leadoff competitor. Hannah Hagel goes now. Let's take a look at some of the things the judges will be pointing out.
Well, the difficulty on these tumbling pass, we talk about elements being from A all the way up to E in terms of difficulty. The best floor workers can open their floor routine with an E pass. She opens with her combination pass. That's a back 1.5 to a front full. And the artistry is something they look for in these leaps. Complete extension, you want to see the amplitude and full split. It's a difficult double wolf turn, and she was thrilled. Yeah, you get credit for difficulty in both the tumbling and the dance elements. So that double wolf turn was a D, and she needed it in this routine. Oh no, and over-rotated.
Oh, it looked like she had it.
Her legs just looked like they gave out a little bit on the landing. It takes so much quad strength, core strength, because you're flying through the air, double back. Not only do you have to know where you are in the air to have that sense, but also be prepared to absorb the landing.
Okay, let's move on to Connor McLean, the freshman from Las Vegas, who could be the heir apparent to somebody like Haley Bryant. She has everything that a world-class gymnast needs, and she's just a freshman. Exciting to see her. Already 2 perfect 10s in her young career here at LSU.
Yes, and on this event, she can put on a clinic. The artistry and execution that she performs is next level. From the straight legs, pointed toes, full split when she shows off that flexibility. And her leaps are so sky high. Look how high her hips rise off the balance beam. And because you can't give bonus for that, for going above and beyond, you have to deduct from others that don't show sufficient amplitude. There's her acro series.
Oh, nice.
Very smooth front aerial to a back handspring.
The polish is remarkable. Oh.
And that wolf jump is just, it is otherworldly. So high and the perfect shape. It's a difficult jump to make look pretty, and hers is gorgeous.
Oh, she's just a cool head up there.
And watch how she floats this side aerial and finesses the landing. She is so just one with the beam. That's all I can say.
Wow.
Her connection to this event and her ability to perform on just another level in every way, because she actually has more difficulty she can do in this routine.
Oh, sure.
Lots more.
Oh my, look at the execution.
And then the arms go out to the side, all the way through to her fingertips, the energy throughout her entire body. It is just gorgeous.
She scored a perfect 10 in a dual meet at Missouri this year. Exquisite young freshman. We'll see a lot of Connor McLean in the future. Sophia Groth coming after Hannah Hagel after she sat down her last tumbling pass, scored only a 9.125. So remember, 6 athletes compete. You count the best 5 out of 6 scores towards their team total. So the next 4 routines Auburn has to hit to stay in this competition.
And Sophia Groth can do that. This is a difficult E-pass that I talked about.
Oh,
a front double twist. Lovely positions in those leaps. Back 1.5. Beautiful, floaty front layout. Finishes with a Rudy, really works to keep that front foot down as she steps in the lunge. Exactly what they need. And I can tell you.
She's that personality, isn't she?
She is. I did a Beam Queen boot camp with her, and she is just joyful, energetic, and just a wonderful human being.
Junior from Des Moines, Iowa, right now doing an internship with Auburn Athletics, has a goal of being a college coach in the future and already developing to quite a leader in her own world. Kaya Johnson on beam now. Connor McLean's score was a 9.975, so that means she got a 9.95 from one judge and a 10 from the other. Those scores average out to 9.975 after Jeffrey had a 9.925, her career high.
Kaya, another one of those gymnasts that is just so mentally tough. First to come back from the injury that she did, but to come back better than ever. The patience that took. 2 switch leaps back to back. It's a difficult leap pass. She has so much power. She's also so quick. Just explodes off the beam and then lands like a feather. It's an interesting thing on beam, Bart, where you want to be light on your feet, but yet firm, because you have to land like you are stilling the earth when you land on beam, with no movement. I love this double twist dismount. She does it so well, and she can usually find the landing.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. That is well done.
Wow!
What a beam rotation.
That was amazing. They're coming after a 9.925 and a 9.975. Kaya Johnson. Her teammates want a 10.
She attacked this, and look at the air awareness she has. She opens up those arms. You could see her eyes locked on that ground.
3 times this year, she scored 9 nines on beam. There's 13,000 people that hope they see more as Gabby McLaughlin starts on the floor now for Auburn. Sophia Groth, a clutch routine for them with a 9.875. Hopefully they have 3 hit routines here so they can replace that 9.125.
Oh boy. She was really off.
Good save.
But she saved it. Beautiful position on that first leap.
You hear the audience reacting. There's nearly 13,000 people in here that were hoping they would see a 10 over there for Kaya Johnson. Her score is a 9.95. One judge gave a 10 and one a 9.9.
Really needs a strong landing here because they already have a fall. They want to drop that low score. Here's a pike double back. Well done. Beautiful floor routine.
Oh, yeah.
The only issue was that first pass. She was just off coming out of the 1.5 twist and missed the timing. She was out of position to be able to really punch into that next skill.
McLaughlin, one of those 3 eventers along with Aria Brooks. It's interesting to note that at Auburn, they have 75% of their scores come from just 5 athletes. They have a very young team and a good recruiting class coming in next year because they're going to need to replace a lot of people. All right, the crowd is on their feet because the stage is set now, and Haley Bryant takes to the beam.
And she is a rock star on this event.
9.95 was the score for Kaya Johnson. So they have 3 huge scores.
Her superpower is tumbling forward. She opened that acro pass with a front aerial into a back handspring.
Superpower, I like that. She has so many.
Oh, beautiful back leg on that leap. Really showed that extension, held it up high. The required full turn on balance beam, and then our favorite part in this routine, from a stand, just a front tuck. She's got muscles in her teeth, like muscles everywhere.
Try that at home sometime. Put out some
first thing
pillows for
I do when I get out of bed, just standing front. And she finishes with front tumbling as well. This is a front punch, Rudy. Nice and high, and holds on. She was tipping backwards, but she was showing that finished position before she rocked off her heels.
I don't think they're going to give her that perfect landing. She's supposed to hold that for 1 second.
Not a hot second, a real second. It was an almost a second.
Okay, but still 3 huge scores for LSU. 9.9, 2.5, 9.95, 9.975. And Cassie Stevens now for Auburn, getting set to go on the floor. He's having a special year. Recently engaged to Connor Pruitt, who is one of the diving coaches here, former 4-time team captain for Auburn diving. Both of them academic All-Americans as well.
And I love the story. I know that they're so competitive in academics. Front layout to a Rudy.
I hate to tell him, but I think she's the better athlete of the two, though. Cassie Stevens, literally solid as a rock star for her whole career.
Oh, now you've started something. They're going to go have a dive off or something.
Hey, I'm married to Nadia Comaneci, so I'm familiar with marrying somebody whose trophy case is a little more complete.
Closes with a high tuck double back.
Wow. Here's a young lady who graduated with a degree in information systems management. Now she's working on a master's in biomechanics. The graduate student from Phoenix, Arizona. What did Jeff Graves say? She's beyond resilient.
Yes, I love that. He said that about both her and Aria Brush. They've been through so much. The COVID year at the very beginning of their college careers, and then when Suni Lee had to drop out of competition last year, that really took the wind out of their sails. They have become so resilient. He said, like anti-fragile, the opposite of breakable.
Let's take a look at the scores here for LSU on the beam. This is outstanding. Aaliyah Finnegan coming after Haley Bryant, 9.95. LSU already with a season high 49.675 on beam, and it could get even higher.
Aaliyah is so good on balance beam. She has more difficulty in this routine than most gymnasts perform. Triple series there, back handspring to a 2 layout step out.
Talk about a setup. She has 5 scores, 9.925 plus before her.
And you have to give her credit for doing more difficulty, the more difficult acrobatic series. Yes, you still have to be near perfect. You can't make an error. They will deduct for those.
You saw her stick that big vault at the start of the night.
Front aerial.
Oh, such finesse.
We all remember her sister, the great Sarah Finnegan at LSU, and they have similar gymnastics and style, very different personalities, and but both so special. Oh, could not quite hold on to that stuck landing, but what a beam rotation.
Oh,
they are
goodness.
building something really special.
LSU season high for sure.
Just love this triple series, 2 layout step outs in a row. And see where the judges sit, right on the side, so they can see the shape, they can see the height of these skills on the beam.
Olivia Hollingsworth will be the anchor competitor now for Auburn on the floor after Cassie Stevens had a 9.85. Respectable scores there, but no 9.9s for the visiting team yet.
Watch this first pass, very difficult. It's an E skill, and it's a double back, but with a full twist on the second somersault. So she waits. Open, then twist on the second. Look at that, beautiful. She got just a little bit off center on that second jump. The judges are looking for the legs to be parallel to the floor and equally high. She does a difficult combination pass here at the end, so higher level difficulty front, through to a double back. Let's see if she keeps that front foot down. Well done.
All right.
And you can tell by the smile on her face, I think she's pretty happy with that.
All right, LSU has the lead, a significant lead after that just season-high performance on the Bills beam. We're joined now by Jay Clark, their head coach. Jay, if memory serves me right, I don't think you coach the beam team, do you?
You know what, Bart? You and I go way back, but we can talk after this if you want.
Yeah, I usually see you chewing on a cup in the background.
It's right here, baby. It's right here.
You took my question, Bart. I was going to ask, where is that cup? Well, you must have chewed really well.
No, you know what? I didn't chew a whole lot tonight. They were doing so well, I didn't have to chew a whole lot.
Oh, so that's what we need to look for, how much you're chewing on that cup. No, well done over there on beam.
Thank you, though. They did a great job. You know, I told them after bars, I felt like we were kind of walking around, and the energy was good. They were having a good time, but I told them I didn't want us to be like just kind of jacking around over there. I wanted the energy to be focused on what we were doing, and I think they settled down a little bit, and our performance certainly indicated it.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting ready for the 4th and final rotation. Good luck, Jay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, coming up, we'll talk about this incredible week in the SEC. The top conference in gymnastics. Not disappointing tonight. All right, Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson-Clark here at the PMAC. Big highlights in the SEC this past week.
No surprise, SEC Gymnast of the Week, LSU's Haley Bryant with a huge score in the all-around, a 10 on beam, which made her the 14th gymnast to secure a gym slam in their collegiate career. An SEC Specialist of the Week, Missouri's Jocelyn Moore earned a share of first place on floor exercise, scored career highs 9.975, and then Anya Pilgrim, what a freshman in the SEC, posted a collegiate best all-around score and collegiate high on the uneven bars.
Lots of headlines to talk about. Haley Bryant completes her career gym slam. She's the 14th athlete in NCAA history to do it, but the first one at this storied program here at LSU. Kentucky continues their momentum. They remain number 5 as a team in the country, and Florida is rising. Gators are number 6, but they've improved their scores each week. Now, we mentioned the gym slam. Explain what that is, Kathy.
So the gym slam is when you have scored a 10 on every single event. It's like, you know, running the bases. And it is not easy to do.
And here's some of the greatest names in the history of collegiate gymnastics. who have done it. In fact, there down on your bottom right is Haley Bryant. She did it this year, completing her career gym slam. By the way, there's only one athlete named Kara Litchie in 1996 from Georgia who scored a perfect 40 in the all-around. Maybe someday soon we'll see that. Scores are kind of outrageous these days, aren't they? All right, we got great gymnastics coming up. Balance beam, Cassie Stevens. And on the floor, LSU already with a 1-point lead will pour it on here at home. Sunday afternoon, we'll have women's basketball here on the SEC Network. Tennessee squares off against rival Vanderbilt at historic Memorial Gymnasium in Nashville. Coverage begins at 2 Eastern. Then on Monday, Angel Reese and the number 13 LSU Tigers highlight our Monday night women's basketball matchup as they take on a very balanced Texas A&M team looking for a statement win. Coverage tips at 7 Eastern right here on the SEC Network. Here is the meet summary. At this point, LSU now has a substantial lead of over a point. They're going to the fourth and final rotation where they're the number 1 team in the country. They tied their school record on beam in that last rotation. And Auburn has the task now of regaining a little momentum here in this fourth and final rotation on the beam. And guess who gets to lead off? A freshman, Paige Zancan, who has really impressed the coaches this year.
And this is a good event for Auburn. They're ranked 5th in the country, so they need to show that kind of work here under pressure.
This is their highest ranked event of all 4 events in the NCAA this year.
And as you mentioned, she's just a freshman. To have the confidence in this athlete and for her to want this position.
4 times she's been in the lineup out of 6 meets, and in that leadoff spot, she's scored 9-9 before.
Just around that 1.5 twist dismount right here. Let's see if she can get the stick.
Oh my.
You could tell she was thinking about it a little too soon. I saw it in the air. When you rush to get to the stick, you cut everything short. The round off's a little bit short. The 1.5 twist was a little under-rotated. Too bad.
Sometimes athletes try too hard to stick, don't they?
You have to learn. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be in that position, and then, of course, you can say, oh, I just got ahead of myself.
Right. You heard it. It's floor time here at LSU. 13,000 people packing the PMAC, ready for showtime. Sierra Ballard comfortable in this first spot as she is on beam, and she just lights the place up.
Oh, her leadoff prowess is superb. Oh, and that double layout, the best it's ever been. But this is where she shines. One and a half to front layout. She loves to perform. Nice ring position in that first leap with the toe touching the head.
We sat her out of floor last week. She only competed in beam, resting her a bit. But this is already a terrific leadoff competitor.
Oh, on the line. I don't think she went over. I think she was just on the line. And I didn't see a yellow flag go up.
Oh my, what power at the
You're
end of
allowed
the
to
routine.
touch the line as long as you don't go over. Let's look.
Let's take a look and see. So if she goes over the line, it's a deduction.
I think her heel is just right there on, I can't tell. See, you have to, you need to be on this side. It looks like it may have gone over, just over. But if the curve of the heel, if it doesn't make contact, that's why they've got the iPad over there checking.
The judge raised her hand. If the judge raises their hand, it indicates that the judge believes they're out of bounds. So
in slow motion, it looked like it may have gone over, but if they have the view from the side and the curve of her heel is still up and not over and touching the line, or over the line.
Aria Brush coming after the 9.65 for Paige Zancan.
Aria is so well trained on this event. Very solid. A little bit of bent arms on that back handspring. It's probably what caused a little trouble on that layout step out.
She's one of the fantastic 5 athletes that do 75% of all of Auburn's routines in the lineup. Along with Gabby McLaughlin, Sophia Groth, Cassie Stevens, and Alizia Hollingsworth.
Well, I agree with Jeff. I do like to see the fight that I'm seeing because I saw her fight through that routine. It wasn't perfect, but she held on to everything.
Okay, earlier, let's take a look at exactly what we think happened here on the floor exercise with Sierra Barrow.
It's over.
So the heel just presses down just barely outside of the tape. And Jay Clark is not happy with it. He's talking to the head judge. They're pulling up an iPad video because he wants some clarification.
Yeah, if they can show, so here's what you can do. If they believe that that curve of her heel was still above and did not touch the floor, then they can try to protest that.
I don't believe they'll succeed in that protest.
Nope.
And it's all academic at this point.
Nice, floaty double layout.
I don't think Jay will be mad too long because he's, by the way, got Amari Drayton up on floor.
And she took this routine by storm the first time she performed it. Stepped into the lineup and just lit it up.
So confident on these power leg events. Wow. First meet as a freshman here at LSU. She got 9.925s both on this event floor and vault. What a debut for this young lady, who along with Connor McLean really looks to be the future of this incredible team at LSU.
I'm just enjoying the comfort and the confidence she has in performing full out.
Wow.
So well performed. I love the eye contact she makes with the judges, with the audience, with her teammates.
You see the season average for LSU on floor, that 49.538, averaging over 9.9 per athlete. Olivia Hollingsworth on beam, coming after Aria Brush, delivered a terrific 9.85. Auburn trails. They're on the beam. It's hard to make any ground on beam on any team, let alone when LSU is over, just competing lights out over on floor.
Setting up her back handspring layout. Step out here, you line your hips up and shoulders and really attack that landing. Well done.
Last week, this was the only event she scored under 9.9 in the all-around, got a 9.725.
Switch half to a split jump. A little bit loose in form at the height of those jumps. especially when you've seen a Connor McClain get up there and really set that standard. Handspring into the gainer full, little hop back. So they're solid. That's what's good to see. That's what I said, that I agree with Jeff. They're showing a lot of fight, handling the nerves here because they're feeling the pressure.
Hollingsworth, the senior, who could have one more year. She could defer med school and compete one more year if she chooses to do so. As we go back to floor, KJ Johnson, after Amari Drayton got her tied for her career high 9.925.
And KJ is just so uniquely and unapologetically herself. I love how this routine, the choreography just fits her like a glove. And huge tumbling, full 360 double back. She's such a powerful gymnast.
We're right over here by the floor exercise mat. I think she could have tumbled over the top of us.
Back 1.5 to front layout. Another high tumbling pass with great control. Oh my gosh, she loved it. Strong music, strong choreography, and a great performance.
She knows it. Oh yeah. She was out with a bit of the flu, rested up, and man, what power.
And I don't think this will come as a surprise. Guess what she loves? Muscle cars. Speed, fast race cars and muscle cars, and she did some powerlifting. I mean, she's just such a unique gymnast here, and they all embrace that, you know, about each other, how different everybody is.
Love it. Back to beam now for Auburn, Sophia Groth. Hollingsworth before her, 9.875.
And I love how Sophia finishes her acro series so strong. This is a triple series. Back handspring layout to back handspring. Nice extension on those leaps. And yes, it is pure joy. It's not surprise, it is joy.
She wants to make sure the judges know. That was really good, right?
Marble gainer full. Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of her signature.
Right.
When she lands something and she knows it's so good. As it was. And it is like, wow, look at that.
Her greatest accomplishment, she says, is helping Auburn get to that final championship session of the NCAA tournament. In 2022, they placed the highest they've ever placed as a team, 4th. Aaliyah Finnegan getting a few notes for her floor routine after both Drayton and Johnson notched 9.925s. LSU firmly in the lead.
This whole LSU team can perform the heck out of the routines. Aaliyah takes it to a whole different level. The nuances in this choreography, the facial expression. And then watch this. Huge Arabian double front into a stag jump. She looked right at me. I had to stick my tongue out too. That was fun.
No deduction for using that supplemental mat just to protect the ankles on the landings.
This routine is on fire right now. Let's see if she can get this very difficult 2.5 twist punch front.
Oh, yeah.
And a perfect ending. It was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Hello.
Woo! Next level.
Oh, my.
That was just, that was an adventure.
I said it about
loved
her
it.
sister, Sarah, years ago at the conference championship. Judges, just put your pencils down. This is just pure magic.
My favorite moment was when she happened to look over at us. She's looking right at me with her tongue out, and I just right back at her. I was like, ah, that was so good.
Okay, we've seen a lot of high scores this year in college gymnastics. Some 10s are worth it, some are not, but I wouldn't be disappointed at all if I saw a 10 for that.
That routine had everything.
It was magical. Cassie Stevens on beam after Sophia Groth smiled her way through to that 9.925. Good for her.
Let's see if she does just the single. She can do a second layout step out. She has 2 different routines she trains. Whoa, I'm hearing.
Hey, by the way, while Cassie's on beam, it is a 10 for Aaliyah Finnegan, and you and I have no problem with that one, do we,
I
Kathy?
don't. I'm with you, Bart.
Not all 10s are created equal, but that, folks, is a 10.
That was a 10-10.
Wow, and Cassie Stevens has to keep her composure because there's nearly 13,000 people going nuts here in the PMAC. And Cassie Stevens is standing on a 4-inch wide balance beam, 4 feet in the air, and staying concentrated.
You have to be able to perform in the chaos. Use it as the energy it is. Well done. Good fight.
Keep in mind, there are 2 more athletes for LSU coming up on floor, and we've already seen pure magic.
She ate that. Oh my goodness.
What a setup for Haley Bryant. The 3rd career perfect 10 for Aaliyah Finnegan. Haley Bryant easily capable of a similar score.
And if anyone can handle this kind of anticipation for what's next, because she is huge in that double front.
Three times this year, LSU has been over that magical 198 in team score. Well, this could be certainly their 3rd here and will be tonight. But all of those big scores have come at home. They're most comfortable competing here in front of their home crowd. It results in their best performances.
Front layout to a Rudy. Well, that was a great routine, and I would love to see that first pass again from the side. I'll tell you what the judges are looking for. I mean, besides the difficulty, which is tremendous here, and the height, which is crazy good, Let's see where she steps. She steps backwards, which can indicate some under rotation, but with great control, she steps into that lunge.
Right.
So she did show the control. It was a backward step, but she was upright and so high.
So high, but likely to be a minor deduction there from that otherwise superb routine. Gabby McLaughlin in the anchor spot for Auburn after Cassie Stevens held it together for a 9.875 while the crowd was going crazy for the 10 for Aaliyah Finnegan over on floor.
Well, I do hope that they can appreciate this beam work, because when you talk about finesse and artistry, Gabby McLaughlin has so much of it. The high toe, pristine footwork. Oh, and she really handled that beautifully. Her chest was down as she landed that side aerial, but she managed to keep moving into the jump. These gymnasts get so good at finessing. If something is slightly off, they don't panic. You can cover it with a beautiful arm movement or a gesture. Lovely, lovely routine. Just that one little place, and it was like a little glitch between the side aerial and the split jump. The rest was just so beautiful.
Kudos to Auburn for holding together in that final rotation. A great rotation on the beam. Lineup change here at the last minute. Kaya Johnson was going to be in the floor, and guess who's got the anchor spot tonight? Olivia Dunn, among the most famous collegiate athletes with 15 million followers on social media, and here in front of her home crowd on one of her favorite events. Olivia Dunn in for Kaya Johnson to wrap this one up. LSU already well over 198.
And she can show this routine off. Her flexibility is incredible. Front tuck through the double tuck.
Nice.
Well done.
4 times she's been in the floor lineup this year for LSU.
Now watch her leaps. The position in the air. She shows over split. Covered that landing really well. That was a difficult leap. For you gymnastics fans, the woman dancing in the corner, Courtney McCool-Griffith. She's the assistant coach, works with these athletes on beam, and one of the most incredible gymnasts of all time.
Competed at Georgia many times, All-America. Now here, an assistant at LSU, and beaming tonight because this is an outstanding team performance.
High double back, a tiny bit short on the landing, but the smile on her face says it all. And they love her.
Olivia Dunn wraps up the final rotation for the LSU Tigers.
So she does a double back in the first passing tuck position and then comes back with the double back in pike position. Really well done on that first pass. You see her really getting the power behind this skill. Pulls it all the way around. She was a tiny bit short, so she hopped a little. But great job.
All right, we'll be back with the final results of this one here, and guess who we're going to get to talk to? Haley Bryant, all-around champion and superstar, when we come back. Final score, and Jay Clark, the head coach here at LSU, very happy with a 198.3. That's their second highest score of the season. And the third time over 198 at home. 198, a championship level score for any team. Haley Bryant, what a night for this young lady who just continues to impress. 39.7 in the all-around, 24th career all-around title.
I'm looking at these women, these incredible women, and the role models that they are for all the gymnasts that are dreaming of someday being something, part of something that is bigger than themselves and so magical. And this is it, college gymnastics.
Oh, you're not kidding. Let's take a look at some of her highlights as she enjoys this with her fans.
Everything she does is a highlight. She sparkles as much as that leotard. She flies high, and she was a little bit off on that landing, but the way that she has worked in the gym, that even if something is slightly off, she is just magical in her ability to make everything look so effortless, so clean, so precise. And as good as she is on the floor in her routines, as a leader, as a teammate, she is just as phenomenal. And she's joining us here.
Oh, that's great. Well, Jay Clark, obviously a couple of notes there for the end of this meet. But Haley Bryant, what a thrill to have you with us here. Congratulations on the 39-7, another all-around title.
Thank you.
Explain what it feels like to compete in front of nearly 13,000 fans here who just want to see nothing but great gymnastics.
It is absolutely amazing. It's literally a dream come true. That's one of the main reasons I came to LSU. I loved the fans, I love the coaches, and just getting to perform in front of them and just giving back to them because they give so much to us. So it's just seriously an honor, and we couldn't do without them. And on to the next step, about to go to Florida, and we're so excited to do it away as well.
The one thing that I want to talk about, because you are such an incredible role model, and there are so many little girls out there watching and dreaming of being you. What would you tell them in this moment? What has inspired you to be where you are?
I would just tell them to never give up, because there's going to be hard days in the gym. There's going to be people that doubt you, tell you can't do it, but just believe in yourself, believe in all your friends, family, and teammates around you, and just keep dreaming, dream so big, and the sky's the limit for every single person out there. So just keep going and never give up.
And the close bond you have with your teammates. Talk about Aaliyah and that floor routine.
I am so excited. We see it day in and day out of the gym, so I'm just super excited. She really put it all together tonight. It was absolutely amazing, and again, she's not done yet. The sky's the limit for her, and it's so fun watching her. It's so fun being her teammate because she just inspires me, and I just love her so much.
You've been such a leader on this team, and you've been through all the highs and the lows. We've been through years where you struggled just to get a lineup together. Definitely. Now you have an embarrassment of riches. I guess the big question is this the year LSU gets to the top of the mountain?
I definitely think so. I think we just got to take it one step at a time, one meet at a time, not get too ahead of ourselves, just be in the moment, be present, and just go in the gym, work on the little details and landings. And if we do all those things, I think we're going to get there this year.
Well, we look forward to seeing you competing for a championship this year and doing your best.
Thank you.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you.
All right, another big win for LSU at home, and all these young ladies
so proud of you.
Want to be little Haley Bryants as they grow up, or maybe Sierra Ballards. But what a thrilling night here for the SEC Gymnastics. Once again, LSU gets the win. Coming up here next on the SEC Network, it's Southern Hoops, Part 1. For Kathy Johnson and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Bart Connor saying good night from Baton Rouge. What fun.